Good morning. My name is Vanessa, and I will be your conference operator today. At this time, I would like to welcome everyone to the Capacity Management Global Community Webcast. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question and answer session. If you would like to ask a question during this time, simply press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. If you would like to withdraw your question, press the pound key. Thank you. I will now like to turn the call over to Mr. Jim Lundy, CA Capacity Manager and Community Board President. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning and for being with us here today. With the recent CA World, and not everyone could make it to it, but there's a lot of really great content out there that would be beneficial for us all to get into people's hands. So with that, we got this webcast put together, and Jeremy Rosbach will be going over some of the cliff notes of some good tidbits to share for us. So thank you for joining us, and Jeremy, take it away.
All right, thank you, Jim. And welcome, everyone. Once again, my name is Jeremy Rosbach. I am the Product Marketing Manager for the CA Capacity Management Solution. And we just wanted to use today's time to briefly go over a lot of the great activity that happened not only at CA World this year, but actually a week before was the CMG 2014 Performance and Capacity International Conference in Atlanta. We had a big splash there as well, a great conference for all the capacity planners and performance managers out there today. So I was just going to use this time to, like Jim said, use the cliff notes and tell you a little bit about some of the sessions that went on at CMG as well as CA World. So we'll start off with the CMG conference. Once again, that was the first week in November of this year. CA had 4 speaking sessions, and they were almost standing room only, if not all of them. We also hosted a private event for a lot of the customers that were there, where they were able to have private Q&A with our industry experts, Richard DeMark and Adrian Johnson, you see there. They're on the board of CMG, widely known throughout the capacity planning community. Our booth had a lot of traffic. And as you can see, we hosted a webcast with CMG recently where we broke records. They actually had to hold a second webcast because the vehicle they were using could only hold so many attendees at one time. So great turnout for that. So we'll dive into the sessions that were held. And once again, just a quick summary on the sessions that CA gave at the CMG 2014 conference this year. The first one was Monday morning. It was a 3-hour workshop on business service profiling. And Richard and Adrian gave this session around starting capacity planning at a component level and basically moving up that pyramid there into a service capacity management scenario. And then finally, when your capacity planning processes mature, you're able to actually build and deliver business service capacity planning information back to the business and the end users. So when you start off with component capacity management, you know, you're able to, they deliver the message of being able to understand and manage the usage of individual resources, CPU, memory, storage, network, et cetera, addressing those bottlenecks. That moves into server and service capacity management, managing the capacity of the services that support the businesses. Maybe it's a middle-tier database environment, a front-end web environment. This addresses the capacity and service level management that a lot of the leading enterprises are addressing today. And then finally, when you mature, you move up into business capacity management. You're able to correlate all that great information you're gathering today around capacity planning, performance metrics, and correlate business data with the IT resource usage, enabling executive business decision and support for future successful initiatives. So that was their workshop. It was very well attended. A lot of great feedback on that. The second session at the CMG 2014 conference this year that CA put on was on stack metrics. We were happy to co-host this session with 451 Group's Amy Spellman. And this session illustrated the capacity planning stack, so involving as many different business units that you can, working together to provide better business capacity-related information for those great IT initiatives that can be successful. So the only way to really support business and their initiatives is to involve application performance metrics, IT performance metrics, facilities, right? There's no reason that we need to do capacity planning on the servers without not also understanding the power, space, and cooling consumption of those environments. So that is where capacity planning should be involved as well. So when you integrate all this great information, performance data, business data, IT data, facilities data, you're able to deliver, like we said in the previous session, a business capacity management practice for your organization. The third session we held at CMG 2014 this year was on capacity planning business dashboards. So the subject line of this session was really simple. You don't have to be an application development guru in order to blend and meld capacity planning metrics and performance metrics into meaningful and useful capacity dashboards. It really shouldn't be that hard. Every management vendor out there today is able to offer a range of pretty dashboards and visualizations regarding the data and performance metrics, but creating meaningful and actionable intelligence out of that is something very different. So this session was an attempt to find a balance between, meaningful information, great performance data, but presenting it in a way at a high level for executives, management level, the administrator level, to be able to get meaningful and actionable information out of it quickly and easily. In simple terms, when a business service is red, how red is it? Being able to drill down to that quickly and easily and understand what is broken, what needs to be fixed, and how quickly do I need to fix it. And then the fourth session was around data analysis and avoiding analysis paralysis. So Adrian Johnson gave this session, and he basically wanted to point across that capacity data analysis can be very time consuming, and at sometimes we may be analyzing the wrong data in order to understand and plan and even find bottlenecks. He gave an example with the Swiss Army knife, where you have a lot of different tools out there at your disposal, and figuring out which tool to use and then which data to concentrate on is the key question. So, this Swiss Army knife on the top left-hand side is an executive, classic Swiss Army knife. It's small, it's compact, a gentleman's Swiss Army knife, so to say. The top right-hand corner is a tourist model with a few more useful tools like a can opener and a bottle opener. When we move down to the second row, you get even more tools for mountain climbing, cutting off branches and trees, making shelter. And then finally, the last one is the end-all, be-all of Swiss Army knives, where you have flashlights and everything involved, and even a USB stick. So there's a lot of great tools at our disposal. But if we don't understand the right data to start analyzing first, we're going to waste a lot of time. He gave an example here, a use case example, where this trading company, had some slowness in their application response, and the capacity planners were using the tools at hand, but they were analyzing database performance information. when they finally figured out what was going on, the database tier was not the problem at all. It was the front-end web servers that were causing a bottleneck in response time back to the end users. So, you know, in search for the ultimate question like we have here, it may be better to be able to fully understand the less precise questions than to fail to answer the most detailed questions because we analyzed the wrong data with the right tools at hand. So addressing data analysis requirements in terms of scaling and interesting information that's useful and necessary to make those decisions. And just some quick, pictures here. These are a lot of the sessions that went on. The booth that we had there was, we had a lot of traffic. We had a lot of fun with the customers that were there in Atlanta. Here's at the bottom right-hand corner was our Ask the Experts session, highly attended by many customers that were in Atlanta with us, where they got a lot of one-on-one from the industry experts we brought with us from Richard and Adrian. Heavily promoted on social. Maybe you guys follow me or follow CA. We were promoting the event and really looking forward to having some great conversations with the attendees at CMG this year, and we really look forward to next year's conference as well. So now we're going to move into CA World, which was the following week in November. Maybe some of you were out there, maybe not. We had 3 great customer sessions. We also put on a thought leadership session on predictive analytics. I'm not going to cover that here. I really wanted to just cover the great customer case studies that were presented. The first one was by Wells Fargo. If you haven't heard of them, excuse me, Wells Fargo is one of the largest banks in the U.S. today. They recently merged with Wachovia. And that financial integration or that financial merger was the largest financial integration between 2 institutions in U.S. history. So with that, brought the capacity planning issue to the top of their list. How are they going to consolidate and migrate all these duplicate applications, duplicate servers, unneeded data center floor space, rack space, et cetera? So you can see how capacity planning and management really went to the top of their list with this merger and acquisition. Wells Fargo uses a widely known methodology out there called the stepwise refinement methodology. This starts in 3 steps, really. First step is system scalability, so answering the question, what is the hardware component that limits performance, and understanding that using capacity planning tools. And then moving into software scalability, answering the question, what is the software process that may be limiting performance and availability. And then finally, very mature capacity planning practices move into application optimization, answering questions like what is the optimal application configuration for an exceptional end user experience. They gave an example here on the right-hand side where they have one of many customer-facing applications with their financial mobile applications as well. And using capacity planning tools from CA, they were able to understand an unexpected increase in workload that was coming down the pipe, and it wasn't effectively communicated to the capacity planning team at Wells Fargo, but they were able to ensure they had enough infrastructure in place to handle this increase, that's that red line there, in workload, and guarantee, an exceptional end user experience and no bottlenecks for this increase. Without capacity planning tools, they would not have been able to see the future that way, not able to understand if they were way over provisioned or they had enough infrastructure in place to handle this workload, and also obviously understand without capacity planning tools if they were under provisioned and would be creating any bottlenecks. But they can see into the future. They use capacity planning tools from CA to understand how much infrastructure they need 24 months in advance for any initiative that's coming down from the business related to IT support. And you can see their quote there, they have not had a capacity-related outage in 7 years. Coincidentally, that's how long they've been using this solution from CA. So great success story there. Oh, let me go back. Our second one was from HCL Technologies. HCL, if you don't know them, they're a global IT service provider. They have offices in 31 countries. Great managed service provider, helping many, many businesses and customers globally today. We were happy to be joined by a renowned author of many IT and capacity planning books that are out on Amazon today. His name is Navin Sabharwal. I co-presented with him, and the goal of this session was to make sure that a capacity planning process was in place to always ensure cost-justifiable IT capacity in all the areas of IT, whether on-premise, whether out in the cloud, whether physical, whether virtual, et cetera, always to ensure and guarantee the needs of the business in a timely manner. He talked about traditional capacity management practices being throwing a ton of infrastructure out in the data center as an insurance policy to guarantee availability, but as we all know, that's a very expensive means to ensure IT performance by just throwing a ton of hardware and virtualized environments at a business service or an application environment. He talked about the lack of balance between demand and capacity, because capacity requirements don't flow from business level to service level and then to the component level. And we talked about that a few slides back, right, with the business service workshop that was presented at the CMG conference. Moving from component level capacity planning to service level capacity planning, and then finally, as a mature process and practice, business capacity planning. And then finally, our third customer session at CA World was from Telefonica Vivo. They are out of Latin America. They're one of the largest telecommunications companies in the world. They're present in 24 countries. They have a customer base that is over 315 million customers around the world. They are building a capacity management practice today. They are well along the path to becoming very mature. As you can see in this slide, they're about in the middle, right? Moving from ad hoc, being reactive instead of proactive, to finally understanding capacity and planning for capacity, using capacity modeling and predictive analytics to help plan for future initiatives, using automation, and then finally optimizing their entire IT environments, whether it's at a component level or an application level, to deliver business success. And I'm not sure if you can see some of these numbers here, but they presented some of their successes in a measurement form. What previously took around 400 minutes to produce reports now takes 10 to produce capacity and performance and optimization, capacity analysis and utilization reports. That's an efficiency gain of them of 97% using the CA capacity management tool. Their effort to collect data, which is a lot of times a manual effort, maybe done in spreadsheets, previously took 80 minutes, now it's down to 7 minutes, another 91% gain in efficiency. Time invested in impact analysis for business demands. So analyzing, like we talked about in that previous session at CMG, understanding what data to analyze, what's the right data to analyze and put our time into. What previously took 64 hours per month, they reduced that 50%. Less time spent because they're analyzing the right data right away. And they have thousands of servers covered under capacity management today, and those numbers increase as they continue to roll out capacity planning in their practice and across all of their environments. just some quick photos here. You know, a lot of great social activity while we were at CA World. A lot of packed rooms again. Our CA capacity management booth was, we had a lot of traffic there as well. You can see we were having a little fun with social out there, saying that we can help read your IT future. Please stop by and have a conversation with us. As you can see, a lot of the auditoriums and keynotes were very well attended with thousands and thousands of folks in attendance there. Myself and Wells Fargo were hosting Meet the Experts sessions where a lot of the folks that would come and attend the customer sessions could then have one-on-one Q&A with the customers that presented. And as you can see, just a lot of great social media enthusiasm around while the week was going on. As well as some big names. Samsung was there, Nike was there, Facebook was there, all big keynotes talking about their success with CA. You can see Magic Johnson was there. He didn't spend much time on stage. He really enjoyed walking through the audience and having a good time talking to folks while he was giving his keynote. And then we had a good time with the Fray Tuesday night when they put on their conference. So a lot of fun at CA World. This is probably going to be the shortest webcast I've ever given, but just to, I have a few more slides just to end it here. For any information you need on CA capacity management, whether it's thought leadership white papers, customer success data, proof points, data sheets, product demos, etc., even a great interactive calculator that can estimate cost savings in your environment just by answering 4 quick questions about how big your environment is. A nice interactive calculator for you out there as well, all accessible from ca.com/capacity. So I invite you to visit that today. And then just some upcoming events. More information will be posted in the community, but we are happy to partner with CMG, the Computer Measurement Group, a great forum and group for dedicated solely to capacity and performance planning and management. January 15th, we'll be co-hosting with CMG and CA a webcast on capacity planning and how to revolutionize your practice today from start to finish. That'll be happening January 15th. Like I said, the last webcast we did this year broke records in attendance. So look for more information posted in the community on that. And then finally, again, you'll see more information posted socially as well in the community. We're going to start a monthly CA capacity management demo series where our technical staff will be delivering a variety of use cases within the hour with this monthly demo series regarding what the CA capacity management solution can do for you and your business demands and initiatives. We'll be doing Q&A, and we're also very excited this year to be using this forum to display a lot of the new functionality that will be coming out over the many releases, the many quarter releases that we will be having. So stay tuned for that. You'll see more information on how to attend, how to register, etc. And that's it. Melissa, do we want to open it up to Q&A?
Sure, Jeremy, that would be great.
So I guess they can post it in the chat window?
We can take questions live if we have any questions.
Oh, okay.
Vanessa, can you open for questions?
At this time, I would like to remind everyone, if you would like to ask a question, press *1 on your telephone keypad. At this time, there are no questions.
Okay, great. Thank you, Vanessa. While we have a few extra minutes, I just wanted to quickly run through. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that update today. I thought it was a great update and a nice recap of CA World. And thank you to everyone that joined today. My name is Melissa Potson. I'm your CA Community Manager. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about the community. I wanted to just quickly remind you that our next Capacity Manager webcast will be on January 22nd. You could read more about it through the link that's provided in this deck, which we'll make available on the community. The topic will be automated modeling, so we hope to see you there. The next thing I wanted to remind you about is the fact that our Catman community is mobile. You can download the Drive app and access the community on the go, so you can read more about that as well if you'd like. And also, just the third and last reminder, last but not least, are you voting on ideas? So voting is a really great way to allow you to have direct impact on product direction. You can vote ideas up or down, and I've provided you a link here in this slide which you can review all the Catman ideas. So just those three quick reminders. Thank you very much for joining today. We appreciate everyone's time and attention, and we hope to see you at the next Catman webcast on January 22nd. Thank you to Jim Lund, our board president, and thank you to Jeremy Rosbach for this great presentation today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Operator, you can close the call.
This does conclude today's conference call. You may now disconnect.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye now.
Bye.
Have a good day.